All right, thanks for joining us tonight, everybody. We have a special guest, Carly Cooper, that's going to talk about branding, but I just want to kind of go over some housekeeping information so we can kind of catch up. I know last week and the week before, I think we had like two calls that we didn't really get to go over anything like that. So housekeeping, Super Saturday is finally here. I know I've been talking about it. For me, it seems like 4 months, and it has been 4 months since the last Super Saturday. Oh, and I spelled that wrong too. Shame on me. But make sure you're getting to a Super Saturday. This is one thing that I have done every single quarter since I became a coach. And the same thing with the national wake up calls. Those things I've listened to and went to every single time. And I really do believe that it's what kind of kept my head focused, kept me in the game. So if you haven't registered yet, just go to your Coach Online office, go to events, and then you could just type in your zip code, and it will show you where the closest place is for you to go to a Super Saturday. For some, you have to register, and then some you can just go to and pay cash. I know I'm going to the one in Egg Harbor Township in New Jersey, and that you just have to bring cash. But I think the one in Philly and the one in North Jersey, you definitely have to register for them first. So just make sure that you check those. And also in our team page, you'll see who's going. Especially if you're in New Jersey, you'll see like who's going to which ones. So kind of like check in with either like one of the leaders that are going. I'll be going to the one in Egg Harbor. Jen will be going to Philly. And then Danielle is going to the one in North Jersey. So, you can message us and we can, make sure we kind of all sit together too. So we still have the 90 days for the Team Bearcat training. Anybody can listen to this. It's Mondays at 8:30. You can dial in. Here's the number. I haven't posted the recordings for this in a while, but I can definitely backtrack and post all of those so you have the most recent. And this is from our upline, Bob Lucido, who's one of the millionaires in the company. So it is absolutely fabulous information to get. We do have new workouts in Beachbody On Demand. If you haven't seen the active maternity, that is like huge. It's a huge part of something that we were kind of missing in our workouts. But now we literally can help everybody. So if you know someone that has been active and is pregnant right now, it might be, just something you want to mention to them because, hey, they can just get the Beachbody On Demand free for 30 days. And if they like it, they can obviously continue with it. Next month for November, there is the Team Beachbody Fall Classic. So what that means is you get a group of 3 coaches. It could be coaches that are on our team or coaches that are on another team. It really doesn't matter. Any 3 Beachbody coach, you kind of become your own Fall Classic team. And you do earn as many Success Club points as you possibly can. And they have like tiered prizes. The first prize, you get a free trip to California to go to the headquarters, meet with Carl, and work out with one of the trainers. And they kind of like wine and dine you, which is pretty awesome. And then they have like, I forget what they had for last time. Was Selfie 6 Success Club point, or was that a thing? I don't know. But there's all different types of prizes that you can win. So if you know who you want to be teammates with, kind of start thinking about that and start messaging people on the team of who you kind of want to work with. And only 1 diamond is allowed per team. So you can't have 2 diamonds on a team or 3 diamonds, only 1 diamond. So that's why you kind of want to make sure you grab the people that you want to be with first. All right. I'm sure you've all seen the new cafe latte, Shakeology. I'm like, my mind is blown. Like, how do they do that? Out of all healthy things. But that's coming in 2016, so probably in January, like when everyone's like gung-ho about getting back into shape. And then same thing with 22-minute hard corps. Really, I know a couple of you have done this already, but let people know about this, whether it's social media or maybe sending out an email to all your old customers or just letting people know about it that, like this stuff is going to be coming up in January. And especially, I really like the idea of new Shakeology flavor, obviously, because people always like different options. And I think people are always like, oh, I miss my morning coffee, or I love coffee. Like I still need that. And I think this will kind of satisfy that flavor for them. So if you know anyone that didn't like a certain flavor before, this would be a great thing for you to mention to them. We also have our Emerald to Diamond group starting this Monday. Tomorrow I will post the link to sign up for that. It's like, the little survey that you guys need to fill out. So make sure if you want to start that training, you have to be Emerald and you have to fill out the form and write down your name. All right. And that starts this coming Monday, and that's with Danielle. So she'll be running that. So October promotions, we have the 21-day fix, and then the 21-day fix extreme challenge pack for $140. Normally that's $160. And then we have the both extreme kickstart. So that means it comes with a 3-day refresh, and that's on sale for $160, normally $180. And then we have the Body Beast challenge pack for $140. And if you hit Success Club this month, you get the personal development video chat with Darren Hardy, who is the author of The Compound Effect. And I love him. He's awesome. He was at the first or second summit that I went to and spoke live, and he's really excellent. So I just want to do a couple of congratulations for people who already hit October Success Club. We have Nicole Zaleski. I believe she's at like 13, something crazy. And Lisa, I believe she's at 12. And then Nicole, I know I'm going to butcher your last name, so I'm not even going to say it. But congratulations. That's really great to hit that. We're literally right in the half of the month, and we have a whole another half to go. So I'm sure those everyone else will be able to jump on board. September, I know I just wanted to kind of go back there and congratulate the top recruiters, me, Carol, and Cheryl. Congrats. That's really awesome. 4 is an amazing amount of coaches to be bringing on in 1 month, especially September. I think September was a little bit rough for everybody. Everyone's going back to school and all that kind of stuff. People are out of their vacation mode and in zombie mode. So congrats. And we have a ton of new coaches. So welcome, Kristen. Welcome, Becca, Jessica, Katrina. And congrats. Sorry, I don't know why your name. Nicole. Congrats, Nicole, for hitting Emerald today. That is really awesome to hit it. I mean, you just became a coach not even a month ago. So congratulations. And then we still have new coaches, Erica, Teresa, Rachel, Wendy, Amanda, Elizabeth, and Sharon. So, wow, that is really great that we are spreading the word and people are wanting to jump on board and end this trend with us. So I know on the team calendar, it's been saying that our team calls are going to be on Wednesday nights. Things have been a little bit crazy with me. So that's why it's kind of been on Thursdays. So I think going forward, going into November, our team calls are going to be on Thursday too. But for next week, our team call is going to be on Thursday at 8:30, and we're going to be going over that policy and procedures, what Jessica posted about the other day. I know a lot of people are kind of confused and not really understanding what it all really means, but we'll kind of break it down. Danielle's going to be hosting that one. So make sure to be on if you're one of those people like, I don't get it. All right, that's it for my stuff. And then I'm going to give it over to Jen so she can introduce Carly. And she can take it away. Jen.
Hello. Oh, can you hear me? Okay. So I'm really excited to introduce you all to my friend and coworker, Carly Cooper. We work together at a media planning and buying agency that specializes in pharmaceutical healthcare media. So Carly has vast experience in that space, years of marketing experience, and she's also working in a similar type of MLM structure as us as a Stella and Dot stylist too. So she's got experience with social media, she's got experience on all media channels, and I think she's got a lot of insights that'll be helpful to us with marketing strategy and also with branding, which I personally suffer from, like having no idea how to do. So I think we'll get a lot out of this call. And without further ado, I'm going to just introduce you to Carly and let her take the floor.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? Okay. Okay. So I hope you can hear me okay. You might hear my daughter's electric toothbrush a little bit. She's a little slow to bed, but Jen told me it's okay for things to be pretty real as we're all, I think a lot of us are working moms or, just working and just trying to make things work. So I hope that this is helpful to all of you. Like Jen said, I have a pretty varied set of experiences. I've worked in PR, I've worked in marketing, I've worked in advertising, but really those are just a lot of different tactics that all line up to branding. And Jen and I have been kind of chatting about how the things that I've learned in my past career could potentially, help what you all are doing. And so I hope that what I prepared, which I had to shake up a little bit this afternoon, but I'm really hoping that it's going to be helpful to all of you. And I want you to know that you can reach out to me through Jen if you have any further questions. I love what I do, and I'd love to share advice, because I think we all need to support each other. So, there are a few questions that people were asking when Jen posed this as a possibility. And my favorite one, I think, was, what is branding? And I think that was really great that someone asked that, because I think most people shouldn't have to think about branding yourself because, you're not a commodity. But branding yourself has become a really important trend in business. And it is important for all of us to understand and to know about. Because one of the best analogies I've ever heard ever is about water, which, is free and is arguably the same everywhere. But I think all of us have experienced purchasing one brand of water over another. And the reason that we did that really more often than not was because of the brand. The brand of Evian is very different from the brand of Dasani, which is very different from, the store brand. And you can really tell the difference. Now, I think each and every one of us can say with confidence that we are more interesting than water. And so if you can brand water in many, many, many different ways, you can brand yourself. And there's ways to do it that I think, branding can be very complicated. It can be a multi-million-dollar thing. It's the reason that I have a job, which is great. But it doesn't have to be complicated for you to dive into. So I think a great place to start really ties in. Sorry, I have my notes down here that I'm checking on. A great place to start really ties in with another question that a few people are asking, which is, how do I find my thing that is me? And that really is where you want to start. When Jen and I were kind of talking and preparing for this, one person that she mentioned was the fit farmer's wife. And I thought that was a great example because she really does it well. And she knows what she's doing, and she seems to be really smart. I've seen her page, and I think she really gets it, because what she realized, I think, and maybe, it's possible she fell into it, but I think it was deliberate. She realized that, there's other people out there who want to get fit, and there's other people out there who, are, love farmers, are farmers, live with farmers, just respect farmers. And it has become kind of like a niche for her, and it makes her stand out. And you may be thinking, well, I don't really have a niche, but probably you do. If you're sitting there thinking, well, I'm a mom. Okay, well, lots of people are moms and would really get and understand that you get them and understand them because you're a mom too. You may be thinking, I'm not a mom. Okay, there's your thing then. You may be a pet lover. You may, be obsessed with running shoes and have tons of running shoes. I don't know. Whatever it is that drives you, that gives you passion, could help connect you with others. And you don't have to go all the way niche and brand yourself as, a certain thing, but you can relate the things that you love and the things that you do that are in your everyday life to Beachbody, to fitness, to health. And if you find a way to relate it, then people are going to relate to you, because the things that are in your life are passionate. You're passionate about them. So, I can give you an example of myself. Jen Ferreira is my Beachbody coach and friend. We're better friends now since she's been my coach, which I think is an amazing thing, because usually when people make me exercise, I don't really like them very much. But I love Jen. And, part of the reason is because she and I are a lot alike. We're different in a lot of ways, but we're alike in a lot of ways. When I saw her start communicating about Beachbody on Facebook, I saw that, like me, she was a working mom. She was really busy. She found out, she realized one day that she really didn't like how she looked after, having a baby. And I don't know, Jen, having a lot of hamburgers or something. I don't know what your deal was. I didn't know you then. But she found Beachbody. It worked for her. And she and I talked about it. And I went on with her and never looked back. But there's a few, I was trying to think of, in preparation for this call, why did that work from a branding perspective? In addition to the fact that I felt a connection to her and I was drawn to her because she was a working mom like me, but she still made it work. In addition to that, first of all, I saw her talking about it on Facebook all the time. So that constant communication is a really important thing to do in a venue that people use. So I'm going to talk about audience in a minute, but Facebook is good. There's also Twitter, Instagram. You could even find a way to use Pinterest, Snapchat. I have seen all of those be really successful, and different people like different things. Facebook, I think, is probably arguably the most popular. But that constant communication helps you always be present, but it also helps you present in people's minds, but it also helps you be accessible, and it helps you brand yourself. Another reason I think that Jen was really successful, and what brought me into her, was because she had her really half our office working out with her. And I was walking around seeing all these people being in really great shape, and I was amazed. And so that word of mouth is always incredibly popular, and that's part of branding as well. And that's really powerful. So when you're finding your thing, a really good first step for you would be to go to your clients who you've had success with already and have a conversation with them about why. And it's really important to try to do this as a conversation, not like an email if you can help it, because it's good to use the conversational flow to explore and to understand deeper and ask questions as it's happening, but try to understand from them what drew them to you so that you can get more customers like them. Do you guys say customers, clients? I'm just going to say either, and you'll know what I'm talking about. So if you want more great clients like so-and-so, talk to so-and-so and find out how she became your client. And then do more of that. If you're having trouble getting, oh, did I get booted? I hope not. Okay, I'm just going to keep talking. If you want to break into a new audience and you're having trouble breaking into that audience, find someone get them to talk to you about and see if they'll be open and honest with you about why you're not breaking through. That can be a tough thing for people to answer, especially when we were talking about fitness and people are just a little hesitant and they don't even really know why. But if you can have those conversations both with your best customers so that you can have more of those best customers, and with your trickiest customers to see where you can overcome those issues and to see where you can turn them into customers, that's a really, really great way to find which ways to best reach your audience, find which branding messages work best for you. And again, I keep going back to the working mom thing because that's what worked for me and that's what connected me with Jen. But you and you know what you're passionate about, you know what it might be. You know, you may be a huge Harry Potter fan and you're going to be the only Harry Potter like Beachbody coach in North America. I don't even know. It's really, as long as you keep having fun with it, you're going to be in a good place. It's a good idea. I'll give you guys some maybe like active action items for leaving this call. It's a good idea to try to write all of this out. Who is your ideal audience? What other audiences could you reach out to? Take your current customers and see if you can bucket them so that you can kind of identify what kind of persona you get. Is it the working mom? Is it the Harry Potter fan? Is it the, person who loves to wear 3-inch heels? Whatever it is, and then you can find more of those people. Would your best customers act as an ambassador for you if you, give them special treats or something, or do, a special workout just with your best customers and they can bring along a friend? Is there some sort of creative way that you can work with them and brainstorm, get together, with your Beachbody team and brainstorm all the creative ways, I'm sure you guys have guidelines just like we do. Within the guidelines, what are you allowed to do? Are you allowed to give away free Shakeology? Are you allowed to, have a live session that I think Jen does a lot, and it's just like so much fun and everyone gets into it. And, bring a friend. If you bring a friend, I'll buy you coffee or something like that. Black, no sugar, of course. And make a list also of what your branding messages should be. What is it about you that you have learned from your best customers really got them interested in you? Repeat those messages as often as you can. Make an elevator speech for yourself. An elevator speech being, if you were in an elevator with someone for just a few floors and you only had that short amount of time to talk to them, what's the most important thing that you want to say? One thing that I didn't talk about yet, but I kind of saved it for last. And then I'm like really happy to answer any questions, or if you guys want to email me. But I was telling Jen I tend to babble, so I wanted to be as brief as I could. But I could probably talk about this for hours and hours and hours. But the biggest thing that we talk about in marketing today is called WIFM, WIFM, and that stands for what's in it for me. Me is the customer. So the WIFM is what is it that will really benefit the customer. So you may want to say, look what Beachbody has done for me. And that makes a lot of sense because you are a walking successful advertisement of how wonderful Beachbody is. And that does work. It really does work. But you also have to make sure that it gets down to, excuse me, what is in it for the customer? What will benefit them? Because that's really what it's all about. And if you can find something, a way to communicate what will benefit them, which will really make them listen, then you're going to be in a great place. So that's the number one. And as you're like out in the world tomorrow, here's some more kind of homework for you. Look at your favorite brands and see how they have accomplished that. And then try to think about how you could. So great examples are Zappos and Nordstrom. They really make it all about the customer. By making it about the customer, it ultimately benefits them. But they try to always make sure that the customer gets what they need and want. And by doing that, they are successful. And so if you can try to find with each and every individual customer that you guys reach out to, if you can find the one thing that is going to be beneficial to them, that's what you should lead with. And I know that in a way sounds obvious, but that's also what you should lead with other people too. So when you hit Facebook or Instagram or whatever, you're going to take those same messages and you're going to repeat them often so that those messages are resonating often. You can also measure them. Go back over the last week, go back over the last 2 weeks, see who hit like and what they hit like on. See what people were viewing on your page. Facebook's analytics are excellent and very easy to use. So take a look through what seemed to resonate with people and do that more. If something didn't resonate with people, try it at a different time of day. Try it at on a different day of the week, or don't do it again if it really doesn't work for anyone. So the most important thing is to just like get out there, try different things, really be purposeful about who your audience is and what you're saying to them, and try new things as much as you can, measuring to see what works, what doesn't work, do more of what works, what does work, and do less of what doesn't work. I think I hit on everything. It was a little crazy in the Cooper house when I got on, so I apologize if this is a little bit disjointed. I don't know if it's possible to like ask questions through this app or anything, but if there's anything else that I can answer or do for all of you, I'd be really happy to.
That was great, Carly. Thanks. Guys, if you have a question, comments, feel free to unmute yourselves and ask.
Well, I'm going to go first.
Here it comes.
Well, I already asked you this, but
okay.
I'm going to ask again for the benefit of everybody else on the line.
Okay.
I told you already, I'm literally the kind of person who, if I start doing something, I like it. I don't know why. I've been like that my whole life. It makes it very difficult to find what I want to do when I grow up, you know? But I think that trait that I have makes it really hard to nail down a brand, because obviously I'm a working mom, but I feel like I need some other differentiator, you know? I'm the working mom that likes everything. I don't know.
Yeah.
But how do you find not that I need to be as niche as Alicia, being the Fit Farmer's wife, but I feel like I need a little bit more of a way to narrow down my audience, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think you might have to kind of explore a little bit more. I mean, you also just might be, you and anyone on this call, because that's a pretty common issue. You just might be likable. You know, I mean, this is a very, very personalized kind of a thing. You're working very one-on-one with people. You might just be likable. And that's really enough. Like, you know, the show Regis and Kelly, the woman Kelly, like I'm not home during the day, so I don't really get to watch it, but I love her. Like, she's just one of those people that she is all over the place. She seems like different things, but she's just, you know, to me, I like her because she seems really friendly and whatever, you know. So that might just be your thing. And so your thing might just be that you're into a lot of things, you're a great Beachbody coach, right? And that might be enough. So, right, it's not quite as niche and memorable, but it might still work for you. You know, not even my point with the Kelly woman is that, you know, she's a celebrity, but she's not, and she's famous, but she's not famous for one thing. She's famous for her personality, you know, so that might be your thing. That said, you might have to ask when you're talking with your customers, which I really, really advocate to all my anyone, talking to your customers is the most important thing. It really, really is. You learn so much and you should do it often. Ask them to describe you in 3 words. or to describe you in 3 ways. That's probably a little bit going to be more helpful, and see what comes up. You, like Jen, you just refinished some furniture, right? So, I wouldn't say that defines you, but let's say that every single person you talk to says like, oh, and you're really good at refinishing furniture. You might just go for it. You might just be like, I'm the furniture refinishing Beachbody coach of, Pennsylvania.
I'm never doing it again.
Yeah, right. So you might always have like, I don't know, you might always have, chocolate vegan Shakeology every single time. And that's always your Shakeology. And so your business cards have a picture of you with the chocolate vegan Shakeology. There will be some, because you are a deeper person. Like, Alicia is not a 2-dimensional brand. She is a person. She is deep. Luckily, she can be represented by a 2-dimensional brand, but by far that is not who she is. And I don't think anyone thinks that, but it makes it more memorable for her to have that brand. Same with you. Like, whatever your brand is not going to encompass all that you are. There's no way it could, but it's somewhat representational and makes it easier to understand. So I will be interested, Jen, after you talk to a few people, I would like to know what people say about you. And I'd like to see the lists and see what the similarities are. It would be very interesting. No, this stuff is not easy. It's not easy.
We're going to do a whole analytics thing. Yes. I'm doing it. I'm on it.
Idea.
Anybody else? Sorry, I don't want to take up all the time.
I just wanted to mention a couple things that kind of hit a chord with me. In the beginning, you said constant communication with people, how when you saw Jen being consistent with her posts of working out and all of that, that's when you were probably like, okay, she's not just doing this once and forgetting about it. And I think a lot of coaches kind of sometimes be discouraged of, oh, I posted this and it got no likes. I'll never post this again. Or, they kind of get down on themselves. And I think they just have to realize that, all right, that was one time. You have to be consistent with it. Do it a couple more times and see if that post gets any more likes, comments, or whatever. And if it doesn't, then okay, it's out. But you have to try it more than just once to know if something's really going to work.
Absolutely. And, you cannot base it on likes, because first of all, there's so many people who just like to read and they don't, hit like. Given the nature of what you guys do, I would imagine that if someone's not in shape and they're feeling bad about themselves, they're probably not going to want to attract a lot of attention. So they might be kind of lurking on your Facebook page, but not really saying anything. But also, sometimes there's no reason to like a thing. If I post, like, hey, I'm a Beachbody coach and I just worked out today. Yeah, no kidding. Of course you worked out today. You're a Beachbody coach. You work out every day. Why am I going to like that? But if you give me a reason to like it, like, I just worked out today and I broke my resistance band. I'm such a badass. Well, that's like kind of funny and, different than the everyday. And so I might hit like. Or if you, go even a step further and say, how many likes for my, guns today? Or, I barely could get out of bed, but I did it this morning. And how many likes for me? I need the encouragement. That can like get it going. And so you sometimes have to have what we call a call to action, which gets people to do it. One thing that I was going to do with probably tomorrow, so heads up, Jen, on my page is ask my customers, post a selfie with your Stella, so that I can show not just them, but I can show my other potential customers who haven't bought from me yet. Yes, I really am selling this. People really do buy from me, so you can buy from me. You can trust that it will be good, and look at all these smiling faces. So there are ways that you can like get outside of your head. And this doesn't fit you anymore? Okay, we'll put it in the donation bin. Sorry. There's ways that you can kind of get out of yourself and get creative. And that's where brainstorming with your fellow coaches is a really good idea, because your followers are not going to be on on each other's pages, so you guys can kind of do the same thing a little bit and kind of snag ideas from each other, which is a great way to keep it moving.
And I think a lot of times, like just having such a large team, I pretty much, all my newsfeed is Beachbody coaches. And you kind of have to remember that your friends on Facebook, they're not really seeing other Beachbody coaches. You're just seeing so many Beachbody coaches. Right. That's who you talk to on a consistent basis. So Facebook says, okay, you like talking to that person? That's all I'm going to show you on your newsfeed. And then another great point you made, that some people don't do anything. They don't comment, they don't like, but they look at it, they see it, they're following you, they're just not showing you yet. So you just never know who is being that lurker around the corner.
Right. Yeah.
And then I actually did like a little like branding like webinar or something once, and a really great tip that this guy gave me was to ask, like pretty much what you said, ask on Facebook, like in 5 words, how would you best describe me? Mm-hmm. And I did that, and I got a ton of replies. So it will kind of help you figure out your niche, or what area you fall into, because it is kind of hard to kind of know where you fall into. Yeah. And then my last question for you is, can you kind of explain for people like why you don't want to relate to everybody?
Oh, because that's impossible. I mean, if you sit and if you have a quiet moment ever, which I feel like I don't anymore, but if you sit and have a quiet moment and you try to think of a brand that everyone loves, it's absolutely impossible. I mean, okay, Coke. Well, no, I bet, no one on this call will drink a Coke anymore. Well, what about Target? I love Target. Probably a lot of you do, but a lot of people won't go into a Target. Okay. So, multi-million-dollar companies cannot make everyone happy. So you can't either. But I think probably more to what your point was, is you getting targeted is a good idea. You guys deal almost exclusively in direct one-to-one sales, which really is the number one most successful form of sales. And so that's a good thing. You get to have that personal touch. But you have to go targeted, because you guys are not going to be like you, Rose, are not going to put up a TV commercial during a Super Bowl. You're not. You can't possibly. I don't think you can. So you have to go targeted, and you have to try to focus. You have to try to focus. That doesn't mean you have to exclude per se. You don't have to say like, sorry, so-and-so, I can't, work with you because I have, you're not part of my target audience. But thinking about who would maybe benefit from your services, and who would like to work out with you, or would like what you're selling, basically, is a good way to be able to then tailor your messaging, change your messages to be something that group wants to hear. And you can also have different audiences with different messages, which is something that most brands do too. Does that answer your question? Yeah.
Yes.
Great.
Thank you. Anybody else with questions or comments?
Yeah, I was actually just going to ask something similar. Like, you don't want to pinpoint yourself to the point where you're only hitting like this tiny fraction of an audience. Like when I first went into it, I friended all the twin moms in this twin mom organization that I was in, and it really didn't benefit me. And I was focusing on them, and I don't know. So what I'm trying to say is I want to brand myself, but I don't want to pinpoint to such a small group that I'm limiting myself to. So do you want to pick maybe 3 categories? I don't know. I don't know what I'm getting at here. What do you recommend? So you're not limiting yourself too much, kind of thing.
I think 3's for some reason probably a great number, and it's a good start. Everything that you're going to be doing, you're going to do and then redo and edit some more and redo, and and it's going to be really, really fluid, and that's a good thing. 3 is a great way to start. When I'm doing like a big launch, like a big product launch, I usually have key messages that are the messages I really. So typically when we launch a product, we would have 3 audiences. One would be current clients, one would be potential clients, and one would be our internal staff, who's an audience too. And those messages are going to be different because we're going to say one thing to the current clients, like this is sort of like what you've been using, but it's different, and here's how. Then maybe to the new clients, it would be, you're not using this and you should be, and here's why. And then for our, internal teams, it would be something along the lines of, this is why you should be talking to your clients about this product. So it's going to be sort of a similar, not similar messages, but a similar process with you. When you do your exploration, so you said you're a mom of twins. Okay, so you would say, okay, well, one thing that's amazing about my journey is that even though I had twins, I'm now, in the best shape of my life. And that's a pretty powerful thing. And I would think that, that would really resonate with anyone, even if they're not a mom at all. And then think about what else is big for you. You are not a morning person, and so you never stuck with working out, but you figured that with Beachbody you can actually do it at at night while whatever you see where I'm going with this. So you were able not only to get in shape, but you were also able to figure out how to fit it into the day. So you make this list of the sorts of things that you think are beneficial, and then you can kind of match it up to who your audience may be. Is it other moms, other twin moms? Is it maybe one of your core audiences should be women in their 60s? It's the mothers of your current clients who never thought they would get their baby body back, right? Because my mom said, well, I had 3 kids, but I never got, she makes that joke a lot, 60 hens. And so if I can do it, you can too, that sort of thing. Hi, sweetie. I'll be there in a minute, okay? Do you want to say hi to everybody? No? Hi, everybody. Okay. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Sure. Go read and I'll be in there in a minute, okay? I don't know.
Anybody else? Any last questions, comments? All right. Well, thank you so much, Carly. I think it was definitely awesome to have you on, just a different kind of perspective on everything. And we really appreciate you taking your time out tonight to do this for us.
You're welcome. And Jen, feel free to post how people can get in touch with me if they, have any questions, or you can get in touch with Jen and share your questions. But I hope this was helpful.
Awesome. Thanks, Carly.
Bye.
Thank you.